Joining us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, to talk more about yesterday's historic speech in Cairo is Coulter, author of the best-selling book Guilty. And in Washington, Jennifer Palmieri of the Center for American Progress, who formerly served as press secretary for Senator John Edwards. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
And let me begin with you. The president made it very clear that the U.S. policy towards the Arab world is changing and will now be different than what we saw with the Bush administration. Do you think this new era of mutual respect is realistic?
Oh, I'm sure they love us now. No, I mean, what he said.
He said it would take more than one speech, but is it a good start?
Some of the speech was good, and some I think wasn't so good. And what was good wasn't new, and what was new wasn't good. Yes, we do have Muslim allies, and as Bush said repeatedly, we have to go through the Islam as a religion of peace and distinguish the peaceful Muslims from the terrorist Muslims, and our quarrel isn't with Islam, blah, blah, blah. But there was also a lot of weakness in the speech, and all of the sort of back and forth as if, we feel your pain, and there are mistakes on both sides, and we know you're upset about colonialism, and we overthrew Mossadegh, and that's all kind of shocking, and I think it isn't good for the American president to look weak. I think we're getting rewarmed Carterism.
Jennifer, what did you think of the speech overall? A good start or not enough?
Oh, I thought it was a very good start, and I don't think that it was meant to make the United States more popular, to make people like us. That's not the point. The point is recognizing that protecting American security means engaging with the Muslim world in an effective and real way. And there were a couple of concepts that I thought really defined the speech when the president said that, in talking about defending American security, that these are not opinions to be debated. These are facts to be dealt with. And he said that you can't move forward if you don't acknowledge the tensions that brought us here. And so this is not about wallowing in the past, but acknowledging where the problems have lied in the past and moving forward and doing it in an effective and responsible way.
And what do you think the president should have said or could have said that would have been better?
I think if I could have taken an editing pen to that speech and cut it down from 6,000 words to about 3,000, I mean, that was really more the issue. There's some things that were fine for him to say. And by the way, exactly what George Bush said, even though he's always portrayed as if he was, General Buck Turgison from Dr. Strangelove. I mean, he was constantly inviting Muslims to the White House immediately after. Celebration of White House, the religion of peace. All of that is fine, but it was the constant moral equivalence and treating the Muslim world as if they're victims and victims of the West. And I mean, just focus on colonialism for a minute. Point one, that wasn't the United States, and yet they're flying planes into our buildings, not into France and British buildings. And secondly, it's not as if you had a flowering democracy and civilization once France and Britain pulled out.
Jennifer, let me turn to you. I think what the president was probably going for is empathy, and he was equally hard on both sides, Israelis and Palestinians, Jews and Muslims. Talk to me about whether that was a smart thing to do. Should he have taken a firmer stance one way or the other?
I think he took a pretty firm stance in confronting all of the challenges in the Mideast, and that a lot of the things that he had to say were not very well received in that room because he's told them some very tough truths. But he said, he gave no quarter to the people who threaten American interests. He said he was very clear in supporting and continuing to support Israel, that that the bonds of Israel with the United States are unbreakable. He spoke very clearly about the Holocaust, the fact that Jews have been persecuted in the past, and then that persecution continues today. He quoted the Talmud in Cairo. He did not hold back when talking and talking some tough truths to this audience. But what he did was say, okay, let's acknowledge what got us here, and now let's move on. And I think that, we're not going to really confront, to make America secure, we're not going to confront the extremists in the Muslim world without the rest of the Muslim world that are willing to be our partners and being our partners. And I think that's the progress that he's trying to make here.
Yeah, the true test is what happens next. Jennifer Palmieri and Coulter, thank you both.